Latest documentary in the Up series is 56 Up. I'm Terry Gross, and this is Fresh Air.
Celebrating Fresh Air's 25 years, the Neubauer Family Foundation salutes WHYY and listeners like you, committed to new ideas and civilized conversation. Support for NPR comes from NPR member stations and from Angie's List, providing reviews of local contractors, dentists, electricians, and mechanics to keep the consumer informed. More at angieslist.com. From Charles Schwab, providing retirement options for a tomorrow that is wide open. Learn more at schwab.com/retirement. And from Ancestry.com, an online resource for starting a family tree and getting clues to the past. Learn more at tryancestry.com. This is NPR.
Can't help singing of a promise that April is bringing.
That's Rebecca Luker from her new album of Jerome Kern songs. Luker starred in Broadway revivals of Showboat, The Sound of Music, and The Music Man. Coming up, we talk with Luker, and we continue our conversation with film director Michael Abdel.
Support comes from Baylor's Executive MBA in Austin. Small collaborative classes designed for professional growth. Class visit on the 7th and information dinner on the 11th. Baylor's EMBA. Half the size, twice the impact.
Hi there, I'm Shion Gomeshi. Dave Grohl is the frontman for the Grammy-winning band Foo Fighters and the former drummer with Nirvana. His latest project is a documentary called Sound City about the storied recording studio of the same name. Dave Grohl joins me coming up on Q from PRI, Public Radio International.
That'll be on tonight at 8 p.m. here on KUT 90.5.
Support comes from the Lake House Spa at Lake Austin Spa Resort, offering Valentine's gift certificates online at lakeaustin.com.
Thanks so much for joining me this evening for Fresh Air here on KUT 90.5. I'm Leah Manners, and if you have any questions about our news schedule, check out KUTnews.org and click out On Air Schedule in the top right.
This is Fresh Air. I'm Terry Gross, back with film director Michael Abted. We're talking about his Up series of movies, which have documented the lives of a group of English people returning to them every 7 years. The series began with the film 7 Up, that showed them at age 7. In the latest edition, 56 Up, they're 56. This excerpt from 56 Up recaps how one of the men, Neil Hughes, has talked about the possibility of having children, starting with his response at age 7.
When I get married, I don't want to have any children because they're always doing naughty things and making the whole house untidy.
I always told myself that I would never have children.
Why?
Because children inherit something from their parents. And even if my wife were the most high-spirited and ordinary and normal of people, the child would still stand a very fair chance of being not totally full of happiness, because what he or she will have inherited from me.
Let's get back to my interview with Michael Abted, the director of 56 Up. Do you expect the people in the Up series to keep you updated as to where they are so you can find them every 7 years? And I'm thinking especially here of Neil, who is somebody who seems to have struggled most of his life with depression and like really serious depression and maybe other issues as well. And there was a period, an extended period, where he was homeless. And I don't know how you track down somebody like Neil when they're in that part of their life.
We did lose track of Neil a bit at 28, and so we did have to try and get through some piece of bureaucracy to find
he's always been, very willing to do it. He's incredibly articulate, as you know, if you've seen them. But he's been a worry. I mean, what a roller coaster he's had, and it hasn't ended badly. It's not, in his 20s we did think whether we would lose him, literally. But he recovered himself in his early 40s, 42, 49, 56. There's a sort of solid ground there. But, you get the sense of a very fragile personality, but a very intelligent and articulate man.
So, do you have to grapple with feelings of responsibility for the people whose lives you're documenting during those periods of their lives when they're in trouble?
Well, I would, yes, and I have done. Yes, I mean, I've given up any notion of objectivity. I mean, I care about them all, and if they need help and I can help, or they need advice and I can give it, then certainly I do. Yes, I don't shut myself off and say, look, I'm a documentarian here and I have to be objective, so please be quiet and I'll see you in 7 years. It can't exist like that.
Are you saying there are times you actually, helped people out?
Yeah. Sure.
What kinds of things, if you don't mind my asking, and if you do, that's fine.
No, I don't mind. I mean, I've lent money to one or two of them if they've needed it, and they've always paid it back. But, if they're in trouble with stuff, I've always been prepared to help. And, on a brighter side, a cheerful side, I mean, if people come out to California, they come and stay with me. Bruce was here this summer with his wife and 2 kids, and Nick's been out with his son and stayed with me. I mean, I love all that. And if I have a movie opening in London, I always, hire a theatre and invite them all and their neighbours and friends to show it. It's great for me to be able to do something for them without me asking for stuff in return. I mean, I'm always the supplicant asking them to do things. It's nice when I can do things for them, but I'm not asking for anything, just to give them something and to have a good time.
You started 7-Up long before reality television. And now in the era of reality television, many of the people in those shows are there because they have outsized personalities. They're willing to do things that are ridiculous or shameless even, and are willing to be ridiculed because that's how a lot of people watch reality TV, to ridicule the people who are in it. Do you find ever that people are watching your Up series in the spirit of reality TV, which is not the spirit that the movies are intended to be in?
I honestly don't think so. I mean, it was a big issue for us, especially when we did 49 Up, because that was the elephant in the room. Reality television had really got a grip in British television at that time, and so my participants were saying, are we another cheesy reality show? And if so, why aren't we being paying tons of money like American Idol? And I had to try to explain what I perceived